What's good, guys? We are back for another video. Okay, it is Sunday. We have taken about 4 trades this week and we are negative. The reason why we are negative is because you will see in this video, but for sure we should have been positive. So if you guys like this video, that like and subscribe. I'm not going to stop till we get to the top, and I hope you all are with me to the end. And if you guys are, down below is the Discord, traders headquarters, and usually I'm just there to post or just to chat a little bit. So if you guys want to join in on the community with like-minded people to the top, it's down below. So let's get to this video. Okay, starting with this unfortunate loss that happened on Monday. The reason why I took this buy right here is if we go from the start of the week, price deviated 40%. And this was during London session. And the reason why I actually didn't take a trade in this area or in this area, like nowhere here, was due to the fact that how price was patterned necessarily. I knew that I had to take a buy later on if price chose to push up. Which in this case, the pattern that I'm talking about is when price starts off pushing up first and then coming down through coming into London session. And then obviously it continues trailing down. The reason why I took a buy right here was due to the fact that pretty sure there was a 4-hour liquidity here as well. I'll quickly just check. There we go. You can clearly see there was a 4-hour liquidity just here. And just price gave me the opportunity to essentially take a buy there. And this was at 8:45. And my trading times are usually 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and also from 8 p.m. to not 10 p.m. essentially. So that's really what it gave me. It gave me this opportunity to take a buy right here. Took a buy right here. Price started pushing up and I was like, yo, I'm gonna win this. So obviously I went to sleep. I did put my stop loss just below, so if price decided to push down from here, it would have been just a small loss instead of a full loss. If I had my full stop loss on, it probably would have been something like this. And I still would have been hit. So I practically saved 3.5 pips or something of the sort from this trade. And I essentially lost half of the amount that I would have lost from this trade. And what I could do in this situation was really just not take a trade or just to have a set take profit at like the previous 5-minute liquidity. Because if I did, I would have had a sort of 1 to 2 of the sort, something like this, a 1 to 2. So I would have been profitable if I just had a set take profit, although I just thought price was going to at least make it to the daily open, even though I didn't really think price was going to make it because it really showed no signs of price wanting to push up and breaking its previous pattern. So that's what happened Monday. Lesson to learn for this is really just to have a set take profit. If I had a set take profit at the previous 5-minute, and I was just going for a 1 to 2, would have been profitable that day. So as we continue on to Tuesday, the reason why I took a buy here was due to the fact of how price was, where price was. So price really gave me this opportunity. It gave me a retracement entry. A retracement entry is when I take a buy at a retracement. That simple. So I took a buy just here. The reason why I took a buy was due to the fact that it was 5:15. I usually trade at 5:30, so I broke one of my rules already. I thought price was lining up early, so I took a buy here, and when price actually came to 5:30, it was already pushing down. And when it hit 6, price was already down here. And I thought to myself that if I actually waited and was more patient, I would have actually taken a buy here, which is at the best area and the best opportunity, and it would have been something like this. So if I was to wait and taken a buy such as this, I would have had this, although I still would have lost in the end because price did not want to push up here and it just invalidated me. And the good thing about this trade that I took actually was that I got out from price hitting my stop loss. If I was to actually get out by the news later on, I would have potentially have lost more money, because usually what happens with news is news moves in a split instant. So it can move down 20 pips in an instant. If your stop loss is 10 pips, you're getting hit with 20 pips, because that's when your stop loss actually executes, when price has made that split second move. So after that split second move, I mean. So that's really what happened here. The lesson to learn in this situation was to be more patient, because if I was more patient, I would have been in this situation. But I would have lost more anyway, so I can't really say I did anything wrong here. I probably have to look more on this trade. Maybe it was Tuesday and I should have waited for price to push down a bit more, I guess, waiting for midweek at least to look for more buys, because on the retracement on the higher time frame, price is only like retraced like up to 28% or 23.60%, so it's not much. But I should have been a bit more patient until midweek for price to reverse. Or I could have just, this could have just been a normal loss. You know, sometimes you lose some, sometimes you win some. In this situation, right after I lost this trade on Wednesday, I'm pretty sure, was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. I took another trade and it was a buy. This buy was another retracement entry, and I was really mad about this trade, but it just happens. And I've started to realize once you take big losses, well, this was potentially supposed to be a big loss for me, but once I would have taken this big loss, and if I would have managed this trade well with enough competence as well to know what to do in this situation, I would have actually had a huge win this week, although I wasn't competent enough and I didn't have enough knowledge to adjust to what was happening. So in this situation, it was another retracement buy. I just thought this was perfect. I used to think price would reject up the 61.80% retracement, although for this one, it went to the 78.60 to the 88.60, which is even better, because if price goes any lower, it's going to hit the 100%, meaning it's just useless. It's a useless trade. It's not no more a retracement trade no more, and you can just be patient and wait for price to fully deviate. In this situation, price was within 20% deviation, and price was just lining up perfectly at the right time at 6:15. I understood to take it by midway. I didn't even wait for price to go higher. The reason why I don't wait for price to go higher is because I knew that I missed out previously, because if I was here at 6:05, I would have taken a buy right here, but although I'm pretty sure I was a bit late or something happened and I missed out on this buy, so I just waited for price to retrace down like it did to take a buy, because I was meant to take a buy anyway before. From this, we can also see monthly open price as a confluence. Overall, the higher time frame is in an uptrend. It's just currently in a retracement. I did think in this situation that price didn't retrace that low, because now price has reached the 38.20% retracement. So it's still above the usual, but at least it's a bit lower. It's retraced a bit more. So the reason why I also thought that this was going to be a good buy as well is that go with the strategy, number one. Number two is also that you can see before here, the reason why I took this retracement buy here also was because how price looked. Price looked like it grabbed all of the recent 4-hour liquidity, and then it started coming back up automatically before my trade was presented, meaning it was already lining up for that buy to go to the upside. And that's why I took the buy, because it just looked like, just from how the flow of the market was, it looked like price was done pushing down and it wants to push up. So, you know, I took this buy here, and you can clearly see over time when it hit the top there, I moved my stop loss to break even. The one mistake I made here was I usually put my stop loss 3.5 pips below the previous, well, more like the last 5-minute liquidity. And this 5-minute liquidity here, if I did 3.5 pips, it would have been here where my stop loss was, which that is where my stop loss was in fact. Although the mistake that I did make was that wasn't the recent 5-minute liquidity. This was the 5-minute liquidity that I should have been more cautious of. Because if I would have put my 3.5 pips here from the first 5-minute liquidity, my stop loss should have in fact been here. And if my stop loss was here, it just means that I shouldn't have been taken out by the trade. Yeah, I would have had a little loss as well, but from this, you can clearly see price came back to the break even and then continued pushing up to Narnia. And the one thing that I did wrong in this situation was I misread, or I misanalyzed and placed my stop loss in the wrong place, because I usually place my stop loss at 3.5 pips below the first 5-minute liquidity. And in this situation, it was this one here, right? The reason why I possibly didn't see it is because I took a buy here when I was originally supposed to take a buy before. So that's something new, guys, that I just missed out on a really good 1 to 9. And I really thought price was going to hit this weekly open price, which it did in fact. It did everything that I wanted it to do. Would I have made this trade? Probably not, because in this situation, I remember having my stop loss here, no, my take profit here anyway, because price came back down when I went to sleep. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have my take profit here just to see what price does. And what I realized is something to learn, a few things to learn from this trade was to keep your stop loss at the area where you know price is going to make it to. And another thing as well is to, have your stop loss 3.5 pips below the first 5-minute liquidity. Moving to the next trade, and the final trade for this week, it was on Friday. And what we can see here is that this Friday trade went well, because the reason why I say this Friday trade potentially went well was because it was another retracement entry, and how price looked before the market confirms how the probability of me having a better trade was. As you can see, price coming from below, pushing up, coming back down, lining up for the liquidity, well, not liquidity, for my trade. It just all lined up with the fact that I was supposed to take a buy here, and that's why I took a buy. Another retracement entry. This was a pretty late trade as well, because price pushed off earlier once again. Let me just say that for Friday it's different. If price decides to make an early trade on Friday, it's okay, because usually the start of my trades are done at 5:30. As for all the other trades are done at 6. Usually there's a better opportunity at 6 to 6:30 from Monday to Thursday, but on Friday it is 5:30, and that's why when price hit the 5:20 mark and price was still pushing up from this good area, I thought to myself that this is 5:30, it's just 10 minutes before, it's nothing too crazy. So the reason why I didn't take a better trade here was because of 2 reasons. I was late, number 1, and number 2, the reason why I took a buy here was because I knew this was a good area to take a buy. So I took a buy a bit late. I did risk half the amount, so I risked barely anything. And from this, I did actually bring my stop loss to break even, so I got nothing from this trade. What I could have done potentially to get more from this trade was, I'm not too sure, guys. I'm not really too sure. Maybe I think I had my, so my trade was looking more like this, and price came to hit my break even. And what I could have done in this situation was really to waited for price to grab all of the liquidity, because when the price came here, that's why I brought my stop loss to break even. And if I didn't bring my stop loss to break even, price was going to push up once again. In the end, from this trade, I was supposed to be at break even anyway. So this week should have been profitable, although I messed up. It's my fault, but I've learned a lot from this week. So that's what I'm most happy about, because I learned a lot what to do in certain situations to make sure I don't miss out on a really good opportunity that happened on Thursday, and to essentially make more money than losing on the other previous days, which I did lose. So that's really what happened, guys. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. A lot of lessons to learn in this situation, where it's 3.5 pips from the first 5-minute liquidity. The next one is have set take profits in certain scenarios. Third one is watch out for when you trade. Like the timing of trading is important. And yeah, that's really all, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.